kind of making a lot of gay jokes and like trying to normalize all of these gay jokes. But Hugh Jackman has been plagued with rumors of homosexuality throughout his entire.
Ryan Reynolds absolutely goes bananas after Candace Owens dropped the bomb on his bromance. Yeah, I didn't see that coming either.
Career. So back to Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. They're in this bromance at the time, but he separates from his wife, and you just wonder.
So apparently Reynolds was in some cozy relationship with Hugh Jackman and his wife was all chill about it.
Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Hefman have a relationship or something.
And now with Candace laying out the receipts, it's like the whole story flipped. Maybe Blake's thing with Baldoni makes a whole lot more sense now.
Anyways, people really began upping the questioning of his sexuality after he played this really flamboyant character in the Broadway play.
And the whole reality came out when Hugh Jackman got dragged into Blake Lively's lawsuit. Otherwise this whole twisted mess would have stayed under the wrapsits.
That happened to Justin Baldoni, whether or not he wants to admit that or sees that.
Candace Owens shocked everyone by revealing that Hugh Jackman will be deposed in the case, turning everything upside down and making people question what they thought they knew. The revelation left everyone stunned.
Because we are learning that Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, will be deposed. And I suspect that that might be making Ryan Reynolds extremely nervous, and I'll tell you why.
Jackman isn't just an innocent bystander. He's been right alongside Ryan Reynolds, especially during the production of It Ends With Us. That's where things start to look suspicious.
And then they went back and they did some filming after the SAG-AFTRA strike, and somebody had admitted that they had done all of that dog pool filming. I said dog poo.
Think about it, Jackman wasn't even part of It Ends With Us yet. There he was not only hovering around during filming but deeply tied to the people pulling the strings.
The guy trying to replace Ryan as a husband and me as his best mate. Holy shit. What the hell are you doing messing with my best buddy's wife?
Candace points straight at Jackman's role in the now infamous promotional skit that Ryan Reynolds directed, a skit so bizarre and cringe-worthy it looked like a high school bully session on steroids.
Hugh Jackman was also in the now infamously cringe It Ends With Us promotional skit that had nothing to do with promoting the movie, which was about domestic violence, where Ryan directed it and he brought in his mom and Blake was in the background. We learned that.
Reynolds orchestrated the entire thing, with Blake Lively appearing in the background. Jackman played himself, but not just any version. He portrayed a version that openly mocked Justin Baldoni to his face. The whole skit wasn't about promoting the movie or its plot. It had one clear purpose: pure humiliation, plain and simple.
That Hugh Hefner then appeared at the It Ends With Us premiere. Again, not his movie. Kind of weird that he's hitting the red carpet with them. He obviously knows what is going on. What would that conversation have been on the way to the premiere?
Jackman didn't stop there. He walked the red carpet at the premiere, smiling for cameras despite having no role in the film. That's not just friendly support, it's the behavior of someone deeply involved behind the scenes.
So he was one of the unnamed dragons, if you will, in all of this. And it looks like for that, he is being awarded for his contributions with a deposition.
Owens doesn't hold back. She calls it like it is. Hugh Jackman was part of Ryan Reynolds' bullying squad. Wolverine himself is no longer the good guy but just another Hollywood elite pushing someone out. Owens completely shatters the friendly, charming image he's built.
Hugh Jackman is going to be deposed before the trial because Baldoni's legal team wants to get the full scope of Reynolds' conduct.
What makes this even wilder is how Owens links it to Ryan Reynolds' entire persona, especially his obsession with highly publicized romances. This isn't a one-time thing. Owens exposes a pattern. Reynolds doesn't just have friends, he strategically broadcasts them like a carefully crafted PR campaign.
I have a lot of questions about Ryan Reynolds' bromances, his various bromances over the years. We've talked about him and Jake Gyllenhaal, and obviously this has been a bromance that has been very much thrown in the public's face.
Particularly when it comes to Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal, every move, every joke, every social media post, it's all part of this giant display to convince the world how normal and wholesome his bromance are.
Ryan's kind of perpetually highly publicizing his bromances is something that I find to be quite strange, right? Mostly because he's a 48-year-old man, Ryan Reynolds. He has 4 kids. And he seems to dedicate a lot of time and resources, like financial resources.
But why go to such extremes to sell something that should be natural? Owens raises a question few consider. Why does Ryan Reynolds invest so much time, money, and effort convincing everyone his friendships are perfectly normal? This isn't just a casual friendship, it's calculated.
Guys can hang out with one another, but he feels like he has to make that effort. So he's like, nothing's weird here, nothing's weird. Bromances are so normal. I mean, notoriously, that's the reason why he flew out Liz Plank.
Then there's the Liz Plank situation. Reynolds literally flew her out just to testify in Baldoni's documentary. Her role? To assure the audience that romances are purely platonic, totally chill, no big deal. Owens points out how desperate and calculated that move really was.
Justin Baldoni's podcast partner flew her all the way over, presumably to the UK, to provide her expert testimony as to why bromances are like totally chill.
Who goes to such lengths to bring in an expert just to prove their male friendships are platonic? That's not normal. It screams desperation. It's the move of someone trying to cover up, distract, or deflect from something they don't want scrutinized.
Of the word bromance is just, it's a platonic relationship between two men. There's no female equivalent to the term bromance. The female equivalent is friends. And so the fact that we need a term to describe two men going out to dinner.
At that point, the bromance stop looking like genuine friendships and start resembling a smokescreen. Owens suggests there's something deeper, maybe insecurities, maybe personal struggles, but definitely something Reynolds wants to keep hidden. When you over-explain something that much, it starts feeling like a cover-up.
So bromance is almost this permission for men to connect and to show love to each other because it's like a joke.
Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness made a shocking announcement. They were divorcing after nearly 27 years of marriage. Talk about a plot twist. For almost 3 decades, they were Hollywood's golden couple. And then, out of nowhere, they dropped the bombshell.
So I'll ask the question, who out there needed that to be explained to them? Like, who needed this justification paid for to bring in an expert to tell you that guys can go out to dinner and it's totally chill?
They said, we have been blessed to share almost 3 decades together in a wonderful, loving marriage. Sounds like a fairy tale, right? But now, their journey is shifting. A surprise. Indeed, they're taking a break for individual growth, and we're all just supposed to believe that without question?
He and his wife are separating. Now, factually speaking, no judgment from me, but Hugh Jackman has been plagued with rumors of homosexuality throughout his entire career. That has been speculated.
Here's where it gets even juicier. The timing wasn't random. News of their split broke while Jackman was deep into filming Deadpool and Wolverine. Speculation took off, with many wondering if the pressure of such massive productions played a role in their separation.
27 years is a very long time to be married. They announced their separation to the public in September of 2023. Now, just to plot that on a timeline for you, that was in the midst of the principal filming for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Then there's the Sutton Foster situation. Jackman has been linked to his Music Man Broadway co-star since 2021, with sightings dating back to January 2020. Now, the internet is buzzing with rumors that they're more than just colleagues. Of course, Jackman insists it's strictly professional. But here's the kicker: people started connecting the dots just as his marriage was falling apart. A little too convenient, don't you think?
Just never really bought into him at the peak of his career, having married a woman that was 13 years his senior. Some might say, oh, that's ageist. People thought this is quite strange. He was 28 years old when they got married. She was 41 years old. So many people were saying right off the bat, no. This guy is using her as a beard, which is the term that people use when you're in like one of these cover marriages.
Now, let's add more fuel to the fire: the lack of a prenuptial agreement between Jackman and Furness. That's right, after nearly 30 years together and a combined net worth of $250 million, they never had one. Shocking, right? Now, as they part ways, everything has to be split down the middle. Not exactly a smooth process, especially when they didn't make any prior financial arrangements. Talk about a messy situation.
And like I told you, that accusation, it can be real in a lot of circumstances. It goes on a lot in Hollywood.
And there's more. Jackman's sexuality has long been a topic of speculation. His marriage to someone 13 years older and his roles involving same-sex interactions have only fueled curiosity and ongoing discussions.
Anyways, people really began upping the questioning of his sexuality after he played this really flamboyant character in the Broadway play.
Jackman has always dismissed the rumors, but the timing of his split and his newfound closeness with Foster have reignited the gossip mill. Is he just misunderstood, or is there more to the story? The public's fascination with his sexuality isn't fading, especially now, as he navigates a highly publicized breakup that's only adding to the speculation.
Hugh Jackman opted to kiss his male co-star throughout this production, even though in the original screenplay there was no kiss between the male stars.
While Jackman's life is unraveling, across town, Blake Lively is making headlines of her own. In December 2024, she sued Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment and retaliation. But Baldoni didn't back down. He countersued for defamation and extortion. What started as a private dispute quickly escalated into a full-blown legal spectacle, grabbing everyone's attention.
It's a lie. It's just the bottom line, so it's just offensive. If he was gay, fine, he would say he's gay. It has gotten so out of whack that they say it's stupid.
Now things get really interesting. Lively's legal team fought to keep certain personal details private, specifically texts between her, Ryan Reynolds, and Taylor Swift. They feared leaks to the press. But is there more to it? Could concerns about Ryan's sexuality be a factor? Is that why they're working so hard to keep everything under wraps?
Anyway, so back to Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. They're in this bromance at the time that he separates from his wife, and you just wonder if that's also partially the reason why Blake's team is adamant that they need this AEO determination.
They filed for a protective order, seeking to label certain documents as attorney's eyes only AEO, keeping the public from seeing potentially damaging communications. With the intense media scrutiny surrounding them, imagine the fallout if these messages were exposed. The stakes are high, and the answers are still unfolding. Stay tuned and subscribe for the unfiltered truth, because this story is far from over.